Welcome to the Shootin' Show. Stand by for shots fired.
Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of the Shootin' Show, and welcome again to this week's program. We're so happy to be with you. We've got a great piece today from the USPSA, some really exciting match shooting. Let me remind you folks, we are still free to those cable companies and local TV stations. We're proud of everyone we can possibly get on. And some of you may or may not be aware, we're now on Galaxy 4, Channel 23, but the reason it's still coming in where your satellite was last week is Galaxy 4 is in the same location where Galaxy 6 has been all this time. So all you have to do is keep tuning in to the same spot. We're on officially Galaxy 4 now, but it's in the very same location as G6. Well, we've got a great show for you. We have our t-shirts in. We're filling orders as fast as we can. We've got caps. We've got a number of other things. I think you're really going to enjoy today's program. So, as I like to say, without further ado, let's let another shooting show begin. You know, friends, a lot of our viewers have tremendous interest in small yet powerful handguns, because more and more people now across the country are applying for concealed handgun permits. And there's a reason for this. People are afraid. They found out, especially women have found out, that the police cannot protect you. They cannot be there when whatever crime is being perpetrated against you is actually being committed. So what they're doing, and they're logically so, are resorting to protecting themselves, and they're doing it more and more with small handguns. Well, this is one of the absolute best small handguns that I have ever encountered. And you know, here on the program, we try and cover literally all kinds of things for you folks out there, and we try a lot of stuff, and some of the things we get in here, some of them don't work. Well, we would prefer not to show you those that don't work, but believe me, if you see it on the Shootin' Show, to the absolute best of my ability, we're telling you the truth about how a particular gun or a particular piece of ammunition or whatever other piece of equipment might work. We're going to tell you what we find. You can see this is the Smith & Wesson 3914, and in comparison to our Super Blackhawk, you can tell it is really a small handgun. It is very light. It only weighs 25 ounces unloaded. It is a very compact, yet a very usable, and I suppose the right word would be ergonomically satisfactory. In other words, it feels good in the hand. The controls are easily manipulated by larger hands as well as smaller hands. This is a well thought out handgun. You know, this is one thing I want to add. Smith & Wesson, many years ago, they had some semi-automatic handguns that weren't as durable or as reliable as some others. Well, about 15 years or so, Smith & Wesson really got with the program, and today, in my opinion, and we've shot all kinds of things from domestic and foreign makers have come through this program. Friends, I tell you what, I think the Smith & Wesson automatics are about as reliable as any semi-automatic that you can possibly find. They're reasonably priced. They have a tremendous service warranty on these guns. You can get anything or just a short period of time. If something breaks or malfunctions, they will fix it for you. But I tell you what, it's going to be a rare one of these Smith & Wesson automatics that does not work like it's supposed to. The workmanship on this particular gun, and for that matter, all the Smith & Wesson semi-automatic handguns that we've really seen in the past several years, has just really been outstanding. The edges are straight where they're supposed to be, they're round where they're supposed to be, and functioning. And this is so important. You know, years ago, semi-automatics got a reputation for jamming because they used to be made for full metal jacket ammunition or mil-spec ammunition. Well, about the mid-60s or so, when Lee Juris came along with Super Vel ammunition, a lot of the companies started loading hollow points. Lee Juris really showed what handgun ammunition, how much better it could be with better bullets. And many of the other makers followed suit, and they began to make ammunition with expanding points or with hollow points or whatever. and a lot of the old military specification guns just would not feed it. And that's where a lot of the reputation that automatics have had over the years for jamming came from, was when expanding point or hollow point ammunition was being loaded into mil-spec guns. Well, the American manufacturers as well as the foreign makers in the last few years realized that most people are not going to carry full metal jacket ammunition in their semi-automatic handguns, and especially the police. The full metal jacket, as far as home defense or for police officers, is really dangerous because it tends to over-penetrate. So the hollow point ammunition is much, much safer in a defensive gun. If you had to shoot the gun, you're not going to be worried about ammunition going through several walls and hurting someone or something in another room of the house, or maybe in another house or outside, whatever. It's just a much, much better way to go. And speaking of this particular gun, this is in the 9mm parabellum chambering, and they also make a 40-13 and 14, which is in the 40 S&W chambering, but the 9, some of the makers have gotten such good 9mm ammunition. This is all that most of us would ever really need. You know, according to the tests by Evan Marshall, and I tend to believe that his results over many of the other theorists, shall we say, because Evan's reviews or results have come from actual shootings by police officers. And the very best 9mm ammunition, tell you the truth, folks, is not that far behind the best .357 ammunition. The best 9mm available, or ammunition that is available, is comparable to the absolute best .45 ACP ammunition available. Now, if I'm out shooting, I personally prefer the .45 ACP to the 9. For one thing, as I've said before, you can find the cases easier. But I think that the 9 has been underrated somewhat as a defensive round with the best bullets that are available. And I will mention the good folks at Corbon, and they load a 115 grain jacketed hollow point that comes out of a full-size gun. This 3914 has a 3.5-inch barrel. Out of a 5-inch barrel, the velocities will break 1,300 feet per second. Out of this little gun, we chronographed it earlier today, and we're getting velocities of 1250, 1260, which I tell you what, from a small gun, this is really not much bigger gun than, say, a 5-shot Chief Special, but it really does have some outstanding performance and outstanding ballistics for its size. It doesn't have a lot of recoil. In fact, let's go ahead and shoot the gun. I will remind you it has, or inform you, that these guns, of course, they're very, very narrow. They have 8-round magazines, and of course you can put 1 in the chamber for a total of 9. The guns come with 2 magazines, and it's just a real neat package that Smith & Wesson has at a reasonable price. I don't think you'll have to worry about wearing one of these guns out. The average person is not going to shoot one of these small guns that much, but I do believe this. I believe you can shoot it just as much as you wanted to, and as well made as these guns look like they are, I believe it's going to stay with you. So let's shoot the gun, and we have some, in fact, we have some Corbon ammunition loaded here, and put the magazine, of course, in the base of the grip there. Be sure it goes all the way in. Now then, another point I want to make. I saw someone the other day that came down to Britain's. I was down picking up something for our program, and a guy came in. He had a small semi-automatic, and what was happening, let me unload this for a moment. He had the gun locked back on the slide stop. It was locked open, and when he would insert the magazine and want to load the first shell, it wouldn't always. Sometimes it would jam. Well, friends, the proper procedure for loading one of these guns is, I don't particularly, on my first round or loading the chamber, I don't use that slide stop. Pull that slide all the way to the rear and let it go, because that's how they're supposed to work. Given some break-in time, it may or may not work off the slide stop, just depressing it, but some of them, especially when they're new, won't do it. So that slide has to come all the way to the rear and let it go forward. So let's do that now. Let's let you look at it up close, and see just, in fact, this is one thing that impressed me. It is a lightweight handgun, but it really doesn't have much recoil, even with the extremely high-performance core bonds. I'm putting my ear protection in real good because they are loud. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to pull that slide all the way to the back and let it go and let it load itself. Well, let's take a look at it for a second. And the first shot on these guns, this particular model is the standard double action semi-automatic configuration. The first shot is double action. The second shot will be a single, or from the trigger will be in the rearward position. So we'll push our safety off, and see, it wasn't that bad. Our next shot, and we'll rapid fire a couple of times, and we'll decock the gun by pressing our safety down. Tell you what, friends, that's not far behind a .357 Magnum, and you could tell the recoil is certainly not painful. It's really not that bad at all. Well, let's go over to our paper target, and let's see what kind of offhand group it'll shoot at about 15 yards. Okay, friends, we've got a paper target here over at about 15 or so yards, and I've done some preliminary testing with this gun, which makes it look pretty good. We're not going to sandbag rest it today, but I think some of these small Smith & Wesson 9mm will really surprise you on accuracy. But let's shoot our paper target here for a moment with 5, semi-slow fire, semi-rapid fire, I guess. Let's see what it looks like. Get our hearing protection in. And of course, those of you who have watched the show know that we always wear eye protection and ear protection on the range. For those of you who this may be one of the first times you've watched our show, this is something that we cannot say often enough. We don't want to hurt our eyes or our ears. We don't want anything hurt when we leave the range. When we leave the range, we want to be satisfied. Hey, we had a good day, had a fun time shooting. We darn sure don't want to be hurt anywhere. So let's go ahead and shoot our paper target, see what it looks like. All right, let's see what it looks like up close.
When anti-hunters plant poison dog food in your favorite hunting spot,
you'll say, where's the NRA?
When they spike your access roads, you'll say, where's the NRA?
And when they ban your hunting guns, you'll say, where was the NRA?
Join the NRA now to protect your hunting heritage and defeat the anti-hunting agenda.
When they close the seasons in your hunting lands,
you'll say, where's the NRA?
Help protect the hunter's heritage of wildlife conservation. Join the NRA.
Call now and get a year of great magazines, a no-fee Visa card, a Hunter Orange NRA cap, special insurance benefits, plus access to world-class hunter safety and skills training.
You see, when hunting is gone forever, your son won't ask, where was the NRA? He'll ask, where were you?
Where were you?
Where were you? Where were you?
So come on, join the NRA now.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
All right, friends, as you can see on our target, we have 5 shots in a little circle like right here, and I can tell that I need to adjust the sight slightly to the left, which you can do. That has the these guns have the excellent no-back sight system, which is is just tremendous. But let's see. Now realize we're shooting offhand at a fairly rapid pace at 15 or so yards. Let's measure our group. And the furthest holes apart on the target, we're looking here. In fact, let me move over here. At about 1.5 inches. So I tell you what, any pocket pistol or small handgun like that will, and you can tell we weren't doing what you call precision shooting, but 5 shots in 1.5 inches offhand. I'll tell you what, friends, that's excellent performance. Friends, let me tell you what, if you're looking for a reliable semi-automatic handgun that is both small and powerful, I tell you what, this 3914 is smaller than a lot of 380s that I have seen, and very comparable in size to some of the most popular 380s. It is both rugged and reliable. It is also fairly priced, and I believe will give you a lot of good shooting and good service for many years to come. The Smith & Wesson 3914 9mm. So friends, let's do a little bit of what this little gun is designed, in fact, to do. Let's shoot it.
Hi, I'm Bill McIntyre with another update from Capitol Hill here at National Rifle Association headquarters in Washington, D.C. Sitting beside me is the Executive Director of the Institute for Legislative Action, Jim Baker. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Good to be with you.
All right, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the August recess in the United States Congress and what's on everybody's minds.
Well, Congress went out of session last Friday after having finished the budget debate and having passed that by the narrowest of margins. When they get back, I would expect that the administration and the Democrats on the Judiciary Committee in both the House and Senate sides will introduce their crime bills.
What are those crime bills going to include?
Well, that's the $64 question at this point. I would expect, based on meetings that we've had prior to sitting down and talking to you all today, that there will be a Brady bill of some kind. What the exact provisions of that bill will be is anybody's guess at this point. There will also be a number of amendments that will be offered when the crime bills actually hit the floor of the House of Representatives in the United States Senate, including semi-auto bans, perhaps federal firearms license reform, one gun a month, which I'm sure you've heard about in Virginia, which passed last state legislative session in Virginia. So it's going to be a very active fall. Now is a good time for viewers to contact their congressmen because they're going to be out until out in the districts and out in the states until September 6th.
Well, we know that there are a lot of new congressmen, a lot of rookies. They're untested on the gun issue. We also know that President Clinton has publicly endorsed the Brady bill and is looking even further. Is this making waiting periods an inevitability, or do we have more to look forward to?
Well, we have a very tough road on waiting periods on the so-called Brady bill. It doesn't come as a shock to anybody that follows the legislative process that last session, during the last 2 years of the Bush administration, the Brady bill in one form or another passed in the House and passed in the Senate. It did not make it to the President's desk because it got tied up in the context of the crime bill and the presidential election year. But I believe that there will be votes as early as late September, October, November, before they go out for Christmas on the crime bill, on the Brady bill, and you can bet on semi-autos and at least one or two other restrictive gun control measures, which makes it all that much more important that people get out during August and go to the chicken dinners and the fundraisers and the town meetings and the rest of the events that congressmen and senators are going to be holding throughout the month of August.
Well, you've seen the highs and lows for the NRA. You've been here for nearly a decade and a half. Where do you see the NRA today, and where are you going to bring us legislatively?
Well, I think we're, despite what you may read in the papers or hear on the television, despite all the demonizing that's been done by the national media relative to the National Rifle Association, we're in good shape. We had a good state legislative season with one or two setbacks, but 30 to 35 good sessions in states around the country. We've made it through the better part of this first session of this new Congress with a win in the Senate where they tried to raise federally licensed firearms dealer fees by hundreds and hundreds of percentage points and make it cost prohibitive to obtain a license. We beat that back about 2 weeks ago. Congress will be out, as I said, for the next 30-odd days. When they get back, they'll take up the crime bill. I think we really need to take it a session at a time. We've got off-year elections coming in New Jersey and Virginia, where we've had tough legislative battles and a number of setbacks. And I think it's a time for gun owners in those states and across the nation to start taking stock of where their state representatives are and their federal representatives, because you're going to have an off-year election in '94 that's going to be extremely critical, given what the Clinton administration has done relative to taxes and some of the dissatisfaction that's being shown around the country based on his popularity levels. So it's a very active time. Trying to predict it, though, is I think would be foolish. The best way to make it turn out the way you want it to turn out is to become involved in the process, call your congressmen, write your senators, visit them while they're home during the recess, and express your point of view.
All right, there you have it. Jim Baker, Executive Director, Institute for Legislative Action. For now, I'm Bill McIntyre. I'll see you next week with another update from Capitol Hill here at NRA headquarters in Washington, D.C.
Friends, I'm holding what I think is probably the best cleaner for firearms that I have ever encountered. It's called RB17. It is specially formulated for firearms. It dissolves lead and copper and build up down the bore. It dissolves black powder fouling. It also cancels the corrosive effect of the fouling from black powder. It removes rust. In fact, if you have a rusty spot on your gun, you can take some quad-aught steel wool and put a little bit of the jelly here, RB17. It's not really a liquid. It's more sort of a jelly liquid. It goes a long way. In fact, it is so good that we're going to be selling RB17 here on the program through our Bullet Express mail order. Now, you may find this in your local gun shop. If you'd like to buy it there, we'll ask them to contact the folks with RB17. And if they don't know how to do it, they can call us here at the program. We can tell them. But we will sell you this, and we're going to be selling this little bottle for $5.95. Plus shipping and handling, which will be a couple of dollars. But this stuff is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I tell you what, about cleaning guns. We're going to be showing some examples on the program in coming weeks on just what a good job this does. It is unbelievable. Not a lot of stuff that we run into what I class as unbelievable on how it works. It's non-flammable. It washes off your hands pretty easy with just soap and water when you're through. Now, one thing, it will clean your gun completely. And what you'll do is you'll need to oil your gun after you get through cleaning it. But trust me on this one, friends, this is the best stuff I have ever found to clean guns with. Incidentally, since we're talking about selling things, we have our caps available for the program, the Shootin' Show official cap for $12.95. We have our official T-shirts for $14.95 in sizes large and extra large. We have our videotape, which you can buy a copy of for $17.95. We have our music tape of 10 of my songs, including our new record, Down to You and Me. You can buy that music tape for $9.95. So I want to mention these things to you. We know a lot of people are interested in what we do have available. And friends, we just want you to know we do appreciate your support. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to introduce, this is Larry Scott with KWKH Radio, and he is a fan of our program and a good friend, and we're so pleased to be working with him. Tell us about your program, Larry.
Well, John, we're on from midnight to 5:30. That's Central Time, Monday through Friday morning on KWKH. It's the old Louisiana Hayride station with 11:30 on your AM dial, and we call it the Interstate Road Show, and we'd love to have you join us.
Well, a lot of our viewers out there already listen to you, Larry, and folks, you're going to be able to get some updates on Larry's program. Remember, that's on KWKH Radio. That's 11:30 on that dial, and we're so pleased to be working with Larry. Now, friends, stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Hello folks, I'm Lenny McGill. Welcome to the USPSA National Championships. Today we're coming to you from just outside of Quincy, Illinois at the Pike Adams Sportsman's Alliance shooting facility. The United States Practical Shooting Association is one of the fastest growing shooting organizations in the country. In fact, practical pistol shooting is one of the fastest growing shooting sports in the world. Men, women, and juniors engage in a friendly competition that emphasizes gun safety, shooting accuracy, and speed with a firearm. Now, coming up in today's program, we'll show you how you can become a member of the USPSA. Plus, we'll see the very best practical pistol shooters in the world compete for cash and prizes as the USPSA National Championship gets underway. Stage 9 is named Spare Change, sponsored by Wilson's Gun Shop, with Mike Harris as the Chief Range Officer. Here, the shooter starts with a rolled-up newspaper in the strong hand and a handful of spare change in the weak hand. At the start command, the competitor will draw and engage 3 paper targets from box A, then proceed to box B and engage 3 partial targets, and finally, hustle over to box C and shoot 2 paper and 1 steel knockdown target. This is a speed stage with 17 required hits for a total of 85 points. Since all the targets are close, the top shooters will blaze through this with incredible speed. Now, coming up first here at Stage 9 is Jerry Barnhart.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Jerry Barnhart blazes through with an excellent score. 11.89 seconds, factors out to 6.8124. Now here's Ken Tapp. Ken, of course, is one of the old-timers on the circuit, over 60 years old, but he can sure handle that limited class 45. Ken Tapp is 63 years old, and he still shoots very well. A good time, 16.64 seconds. The USPSA competition is open to shooters of all levels of experience, and each are classified according to their skill. Therefore, you are able to compete against others of similar abilities and enjoy the friendly competition that has helped make this sport one of the fastest growing shooting sports in the world. USPSA competition is fun, exciting, and challenging.
If you're finished, unload and show clear.
Now, Rob Latham's turn is up at Stage 9, Spare Change.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Good run for Rob. 11.49 seconds, the highest hit factor we've seen, 7.0496. Now, if anybody can beat that speed, it's this next shooter from the Philippines. Here's Jethro Dionisio.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Jethro Dionisio shows why he won the World Speed Shooting Championship 2 different times. He gets through Stage 9 with the fastest time yet of 11.04 seconds, which allows him to take first place with a hit factor of 7.0652. Right behind is Rob Leatham. Rick Bowerman is 3rd. Jerry Barnhart registers 4th. And Todd Jarrett comes in 5th place. Join the USPSA. Practical shooting is the fastest growing and most dynamic shooting sport in America today. And now you can become part of the action by joining the United States Practical Shooting Association. With your membership, you'll receive a full 12-month subscription to Front Sight Magazine, the official USPSA publication, a USPSA membership patch, and a membership card which enables you to compete at over 350 different shooting clubs around the country and enables you to be nationally recognized in the USPSA National Classification System. You will also receive the USPSA handbook that includes information on how to get started and all the rules of the game. Plus, you'll get to meet some of the nicest people in the world. The USPSA is open to men, women, and juniors who like to shoot and enjoy the challenge of friendly competition. So join the USPSA today. For just $30, you'll receive everything you need to become a USPSA member. Or send your check or money order to USPSA, P.O. Box 811, Cedro Woolley, Washington, 98284. Or call now, 1-800-995-5646.
Okay, Harry, I got the bag open. Now, which way is that old snipe gonna come from?
Reliable information about hunting isn't hard to find. Just go to your local Winchester Ammunition Advisory Center.
Harry?
Before you look like a babe in the woods.
Harry?
Colt, a proud tradition for over a century and a half. Designing and manufacturing firearms to state-of-the-art specifications today. Colt, the legend lives.
Back now with Stage 6, Milking Time, sponsored by Ed Brown Products, with Marshall Todd as the chief range official. This is another field course with 20 rounds fired at 7 paper targets and 6 knockdown steel poppers. In this innovative stage, the shooter starts sitting and milking the cow, and at the start command engages 3 targets from Box A. Then you move to Box B and shoot 3 steel and 2 paper targets. From there, you go to Box C, and you must shoot under the tractor at 3 steel and 2 paper targets. Next up is Bruce Pyatt, a law enforcement officer from the East Coast. Pyatt won the 1991 Soldier of Fortune 3-gun match, and he competes at the Bianchi Cup. I talked to him about the difference between IPSC and Bianchi.
After you're done shooting, you look around and yeah, that was fun. You know, after the Bianchi Cup, you're pretty intense, and there's concentration comes into play, and you have to stay subdued. You can't get excited when you're shooting real accurate Bianchi style. And this is just fun. You know, and shoot real fast.
Okay, Bruce, let's have some fun here at Milking Time. Pyatt gets through with a good time, 17.16 seconds. Factor's good, too, at 5.711. Next up, our next shooter will be Matt McLaren. Matt is from Canada. Well, he's actually moved here to Oklahoma, and he's shooting at the USPSA Nationals for the 3rd year in a row. Matt is a very good competitor. He's got a good time here, too. 15.10 seconds. Hit factor 6.3816. He's not feeling well at this match, so he may not perform as well as he could. But our next shooter is Todd Jarren. He's having a very good, steady match so far through 4 or 5 different stages. Todd's got to have a little bit of a rug burn on that knee there. He slid into first base in a sense, had a good time, 14.96 seconds, factors out to 6.551. Todd was our overall winner last year, and I asked him about the pressure of being the returning champ.
I've been solid, I've been shooting well. I want to come in here and just do the best I can do in this match, and I'm going to shoot the same pace I shot last year. don't want to have to do anything different. Just shoot my pace. I made a little mistake this morning, but everybody's making a mistake. A lot of points in this match.
Yeah.
A lot of good competitors. A lot of good shooters this year. More than, I'd say, 10 more shooters this year have the capability to be in top 16 than they were last year.
And here's one of those shooters, Jerry Barnhart, who's having an excellent match. He's on his way to winning this match with a good run here. Let's see how he does at milking time. Jerry Barnhart finishes stage 6, milking time, sponsored by Ed Brown Products, with a great time of 14.96 seconds, which factors out to 6.7169, and slightly edges out Rob Latham's 6.6667. So Barnhart takes first place, Michael Voigt was third, Todd Jarrett was fourth, and Matt McLaren comes in fifth place.
Get ready to order the most exciting videotape ever offered on television. It's the best of guns, guns, guns. 60 minutes of action, excitement, and the most amazing display of firearms available on video. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, and machine guns. See Bob Munden, the fastest gun who ever lived. USPSA pistol competition, the Steel Challenge, U.S. Marine Corps weapons, machine guns from around the world, and lots of surprises. If you like guns, you'll love the best of guns, guns, guns. Available only through this special TV offer. Fast draw competition, hand cannon, soldier of fortune firepower, how to shoot fast, and lots more like you've never seen it before in this 60-minute action-packed video. Use your credit card to order toll-free now. Call 1-800-942-8273. You'll receive the best of guns, guns, guns for just $29.95 plus $4 shipping. By ordering now, you'll receive this 28-page gun video catalog absolutely free. So call with your credit card right now, 1-800-942-8273, or send check or money order to 7888 Ostro Street, Suite A, San Diego, California, 92111.
The USPSA is one of the fastest growing shooting sports in America today. It's easy to get started because you can shoot with the handgun you already own. Two of the most important items you'll need are eye and ear protection, such as a good pair of shooting glasses and ear protection like these foam pellets or these ear muffs. In this program, you've seen our competitors using a variety of different handguns. There's two requirements, that it be in good working condition and that it be 9mm or above. This standard Smith & Wesson revolver can be used quite effectively in USPSA competition. Another out-of-the-box type gun is this Taurus 9mm semi-auto pistol. Both of these qualify for the limited category. Or if you like, you could use a modified semi-automatic pistol to get started. And some of the advanced shooters are using customized and highly modified semi-auto pistols with scopes, and both of these guns compete in the unlimited category. The choice is really up to you. The key is to shoot safely, to challenge yourself, and to have fun. Call the toll-free number on your screen to join and to receive more information about the USPSA. I'm Lenny McGill. Safe shooting.
The Super Squad started the week off with Stage 2, called The Runner, sponsored by Caspian Arms, with the chief range official being Sherry Freer. This is a Comstock scored stage with 8 paper targets, 2 shots each for a total of 16 rounds or 80 points. At the start signal, the shooter will draw and engage target number 1 from the shooter's box, then advance to targets 2 through 6 with 2 rounds each as they become visible. Finally, they'll advance to targets 7 and 8 and shoot through a port in the window. All of the targets must be engaged behind the various fault lines. Now, this stage is basically a speed drill, both in athletic running ability and in how fast you can shoot, as the targets are at very close distances. You'll see that there is a distinct advantage to shooting a high-capacity pistol in this stage, as there are no mandatory reloads. The trick is to run and shoot and not have any foot faults, as there are 5 different shooting positions. Next up is Bill Rogers. Rogers is, of course, a former FBI agent and a member of the USPSA Board of Directors. Here he is at Stage 2, runner, shooting a Glock 45 stock gun. Bill Rogers has always been a fan of the limited class competition. His time here is 13.49 seconds, hit factor 5.486. I talked with him about the limited class and what's happening here in 1992.
All right, so 1992 is a new year in a lot of ways, in that the limited class is first introduced here at the National Championship. Tell me about the limited class and how it can help the sport of USPSA.
Well, it basically is a stock gun. There's slight modifications you can do to it, but primarily it's try to keep the cost down for the shooter that's just getting into the sport, and also for the shooter like myself who really doesn't have time to go to matches and shoot some of the high-tech guns. I do a lot of teaching, so I have a chance to demonstrate with a real gun a lot, and for me to go out and do a lot of work with some of the more complicated optics and so forth is difficult for me to do. So really it's an entry level and get people into the sport that police officers, military people, military personnel, law enforcement, obviously, they're not into the optics and the widgets and gadgets and compensators. It's a non-compensated, non-optical basic gun.
Now our next shooter came from Brazil, Paulo Roberto Vilela. He's a very good shooter. Watch him fly through this stage.
Stand by.
Nice footwork. He got through with a time of 11.60 seconds and a hit factor of 6.034. Really good footwork there. Was able to get across those fault lines without actually hitting the ground before he shot. Here it is in slow motion. Now keep an eye on his feet. Shoot and bang. Both shots off. And watch this one here. He'll shoot. Just got it off. Very close. I'm glad the official was watching that one. Now, Doug Koenig, of course, is a world champion in his own right. He won the World IPSC Championship.
Are you ready?
Here he is at stage 2.
By.
And Doug has another good time, 11.18 seconds, factors out to 7.0662. Now, looking at the overall match results for Stage 2, the runners, sponsored by Caspian Arms, Ron Avery finished first with a hit factor of 7.1497. Jerry Barnhart was a close second. Doug Koenig was third. Jim Nelson was fourth. And John Sale was recorded in fifth place. Todd Jarrett came in 12th. Rob Latham finished 14th. And Roberto Teagle from Venezuela finished 23rd.
Friends, for the absolute best in monthly shooting magazines, turn to Shooting Times. They have all sorts of excellent features on handguns, rifles, shotguns, and black powder by some of your favorite gun writers, such as Dick Metcalf and Rick Jameson and Bill Jordan, just to name a few. Each month you'll find interesting articles on guns, shooting, reloading, and new products for the firearms industry, that along with information on pending legislation of interest to all gun owners. For subscription information, call 1-800-727-4353. Shooting Times, the best there is. The Shooting Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or television station. You know, friends, as gun enthusiasts, all of us should be receiving Shotgun News, the trading post for anything that shoots. 3 big issues monthly with literally thousands and thousands of firearms bargains. Shotgun News, Post Office Box 669, Hastings, Nebraska. That zip code is 68902. Their phone number is area 402-463-4589. MasterCard or Visa subscriptions only, 1-800-345-6923.
Join the USPSA. Practical shooting is the fastest growing and most dynamic shooting sport in America today. And now you can become part of the action by joining the United States Practical Shooting Association. With your membership, you'll receive a full 12-month subscription to Front Sight Magazine, the official USPSA publication, a USPSA membership patch, and a membership card which enables you to compete at over 350 different shooting clubs around the country and enables you to be nationally recognized in the USPSA National Classification System. You will also receive the USPSA handbook that includes information on how to get started and all the rules of the game. Plus, you'll get to meet some of the nicest people in the world. The USPSA is open to men, women, and juniors who like to shoot and enjoy the challenge of friendly competition. So join the USPSA today. For just $30, you'll receive everything you need to become a USPSA member. Or send your check or money order to USPSA, P.O. Box 811, Cedro Woolley, Washington, 98284. Or call now, 1-800-995-5646.
Get ready to order the most exciting videotape ever offered on television. It's the best of guns, guns, guns. 60 minutes of action, excitement, and the most amazing display of firearms available on video. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, and machine guns. See Bob Munden, the fastest gun who ever lived. USPSA pistol competition, the Steel Challenge, U.S. Marine Corps weapons, machine guns from around the world, and lots of surprises. If you like guns, you'll love the best of guns, guns, guns. Available only through this special TV offer. Fast draw competition, hand cannon, Soldier of Fortune firepower, how to shoot fast, and lots more like you've never seen it before in this 60-minute action-packed video. Use your credit card to order toll-free now. Call 1-800-942-8273. You'll receive the best of guns, guns, guns for just $29.95 plus $4 shipping. By ordering now, you'll receive this 28-page gun video catalog absolutely free. So call with your credit card right now, 1-800-942-8273, or send check or money order to 7888 Ostro Street, Suite A, San Diego, California, 92111.
Stage 4 is called Get Down Dummy, sponsored by Competition Electronics with Rosie Roselle as the CRO. This stage consists of 8 paper targets and 6 no-shoot targets. The twist here is that the dummy must be shoved to the ground and remain there with his chest touching the ground while the shooter engages targets 1 through 4. Then advance the shooting box B and engage targets 5 through 8 under the board. Now, because the dummy is spring activated, a foot must be kept on his back at all times while shooting in box A. There are a total of 16 shots for 80 points. You can shoot as many shots as you like, but of course, the fastest time with the highest point total wins. Our first shooter here is Kippy Boykin. Kippy is from Mesa, Arizona, which is a hotbed for practical shooting. In fact, you can shoot 7 days a week in competition shooting matches in Mesa, Arizona. Here she is at Get Down Dummy. Kippy moves well and gets through with a time of 11.57 seconds, but it's still a little lower than Kate Clark's hit factor, 5.013. Now here's 14-year-old Sarah Forrester. Sarah picked up a couple shots there, was very slow. Her time 19.04 seconds, factors low at 2.317. I talked with Sarah earlier about women and practical shooting. Are there a lot of ladies down at your club the way you shoot?
No, there's a lady who comes down from Boone who shoots down with us a lot. I think it's great. I like it.
Yeah. What do you think about the Nationals here at the USPSA Nationals?
They're cool. it's real competitive. It's a lot to do, and it's a week off from school.
Well, if you were, there's some ladies out there watching who, kind of are thinking about getting involved in shooting, what would you tell them?
It's a good learning experience, and you enjoy it a lot. It's confident now you can defend yourself in life.
Now, Valerie Lavanza. Valerie won the Women's Championship 2 years ago in 1990. She also won the World Speed Shooting Championship this year. Here she is at Stage 4. Valerie Jerry has a good time, 13.55 seconds. Factors low, though, at 4.354. So looking at the overall results of Stage 4, Get Down Dummy, Jim Nelson was in first place, David Miller was second, Jack Barnes third, and Jethro Dionisio fourth. Jerry Barnhart, making his bid for the overall championship, was in fifth place. Now we're down to the last stage on the last day. Stage 1, named Walt's Garage, sponsored by Clark Custom Guns, with Gary Stevens as the chief range official. This stage is a field course with 22 rounds for a total of 110 points. There are several interesting and challenging features of this stage. At shooting box B, you have 4 headshots set out at 20 yards. And at the final position, not only do you have to contend with a garage door opener, but then shoot 2 knockdown steel poppers set out at 35 and 37 yards. Now here's that 60-year-old gentleman, Ken Tapp. Tapp shows good accuracy on those long-distance poppers. Good time, too, 24.93 seconds. Factors good, 4.132. Jerry Micklick has got his turn now with Walt's Garage. Nice reload. What an animal. Uh-oh, a miss, and he's got to reload in a prone position, but he gets through really quickly. And finally gets that last plate down. 3.66 seconds. Factors a little low for Jerry, 2.911. Now our next shooter, Michael Voigt. Good accuracy for Voigt, and a good time, too. 18.79 seconds. Factors out to 5.748.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Here's Todd Jarrett. See how he does. Jarrett pushes the garage door open, reloads, goes prone, and takes care of the last 6 shots with a great time, 17.46 seconds. The highest hit factor yet is 6.186. Now our next shooter is in the commanding lead here. A good steady run. He will be the 1992 USPSA national champion. Barnhart took 1 extra shot there at the end. His time is 18.40 seconds. Factors out to 5.870. There's only one man who can beat him now. It's this guy, Rob Leatham. With a good run here, he could be the champion. Rob Leatham had a good time here, but he hit that no-shoot target at the first shooting position, so that pushes his hit factor down to 5.2919. And a ninth place finish here at Stage 1. Todd Jarrett finished first. John Benton was second. Jerry Barnhart was third. Michael Voigt was fourth. And Doug Koenig came in 5th place at Walt's Garage. So the 1992 overall USPSA national champion is Jerry Barnhart, with consistent runs throughout the tournament. Barnhart placed in the top 5 in 9 of 12 events and won 2 events outright. This is his 3rd national championship title, and you can tell he's very pleased with his performance here this week.
I've proven to myself that I knew coming to this match I felt good, and I was able to stay inside of myself and do what I need to do here. And this whole shooting thing is a learning experience. As long as you keep learning from it and don't beat yourself up, you're always going to get better. And I'm just going to keep getting stronger, and we'll just see what happens.
Congratulations are in order for the following champions. The limited class champion, Ted Bonnet. 1992 women's champion, Kippy Boykin. International champion, Jethro Dionisio. Senior champion, Gary Wilburn. Junior champion, Lee Weston Kraft. The law enforcement champion, Ron Avery. The revolver champion, Jerry Mickley. And of course, the overall 1992 USPSA national champion, Jerry Barnhart. Well, that wraps up another USPSA national championship. From the Pike Adams Sportsman's Alliance in Quincy, Illinois, I'm Lenny McGill. Thanks for watching and safe shooting.
Frightening sight, and there's absolutely no reason for ever letting this happen in your home. I'm Gritz Gresham. Now listen, if you have firearms in your home, be sure they're unloaded and secured in a safe place. And firearms and ammunition should be kept separate from each other. It's as simple as that, and it's your responsibility. This message is a public service of this station and the National Shooting Sports Foundation.
For all your shooting needs in the Arklatex area, come to Britton's at 517 Louisiana Avenue in Shreveport, Louisiana. That phone number is area 318-221-4131. They have all sorts of guns and ammunition and black powder supplies. If you need it to shoot or hunt, they've just about got it, or they darn sure know where to get it. Britton's in Shreveport, now with a second location on Hollywood. You know, friends, we're at a crucial period in our history as Americans. There are people literally who want to take whatever type gun that we have away from us. People who really don't understand us as gun owners and shooters. I like single action revolvers, but I also like semi-automatics. And these people are not going to just stop with semi-automatics. They want anything that shoots. They want to take it away from us, the American public. What we have to do, we have to contact our U.S. representatives and our U.S. senators, also people on the local level. We've got to let them know how we feel. We can stand up for our rights by joining the NRA, and please let your friends and neighbors know about the shooting show. We need to get our message out to the rest of America. Friends, we hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Shooting Show, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Remember, if you have something going on in your area that you think we might want to cover, please let us know. Myself or Kurt, there's a good chance one of us could get down there and do it. Again, thanks so much for watching this week. We look forward to seeing you again next week on another Shooting Show.